Welcome back to Up and Adams. My next guest, an ESPN NFL analyst. She knows more about The Simpsons. She knows more about everything than anyone. You're unbelievable. It is such an honor to have you on the show. And you are part of Christmas Day coverage on Netflix. Mina, welcome.
Hi. Yeah, it's very kind of you. I liked your Simpsons joke about the leftorium, by the way. I didn't know you were left-handed.
Yes, yes.
I'm so excited about Christmas. I felt like when the lineup or whatever, that Coachella style list of talent came out, people were not clear on who's doing what. I mean, no one's clear really, but you and I are actually, to clarify here, spending Christmas together because everyone else is spread all over the country. Our studio show is in LA, and it is you, me, and then Robert Manti and Drew.
Yes, Robert Manti and Drew, and we're going to have so much fun all day long in LA. But Patrick Mahomes is a big part of that. It's supposed to be you, me, Beyonce, Mariah, and Patrick. He leaves the game with this ankle injury. I am just like, oh my goodness. Then I see the cart and all of that. He's considered week to week. What were you thinking when you saw it, and how should the Chiefs manage it given the 1 seed still in play?
Yeah, he's battled with these sort of ankle injuries for a while, Kay. I mean, how many times have we seen him leave and then come back into the game? Or maybe he's missed one game. I remember when Chad Henne came in for him. So I guess my first reaction was both okay, I've seen this with Patrick before. It seems highly plausible it's not that serious. So on one level, not terribly worried. It wasn't like, a knee or something that looked uncharacteristic, but also concerned, obviously, because it's Patrick Mahomes, but also because I think you saw yesterday the Chiefs' biggest weakness and flaw headed into this thing, which is that he's just getting hit at a crazy rate. I believe unprecedented for his career. The offensive tackle situation, particularly left tackle in Kansas City, is deeply alarming. You're seeing it affecting his play and now potentially his health. And you start to worry not just about how long he's out, but will he be protected when he gets back in there?
And we'll see what happens. They've got the Texans. They have it at home. It's a short week, too, so they have to monitor and make the best decision. It's one of those where, knowing Patrick, he's going to want to play. He's going to want to get right back in there and do his thing. So it becomes a little bit of a decision for those Chiefs with these big games coming up. Let's talk a little bit about these Bills, right? Josh Allen, fine, but he's amazing. We love him. And he has to be that kind of Josh Allen to overcome what this defense has been in now. Yeah. Defense is a concern. Did yesterday alleviate or sort of inflame your feelings about the defense?
I think I felt about the same way that I did coming into this, because coming off of that Rams game, you saw a lot of the same issues. And the Rams offense, talked about this on my show, and the Lions offense just have a lot of shared DNA, a lot of similarities in terms of, obviously, they both run the ball north-south really well, condensed formations, tons of pre-snap motion, really the ability to attack the linebackers there. Play action, passing, attack. So to see the Bills struggle, especially, obviously the Lions are basically a mash unit on defense now, but the Bills were missing both their starting safeties in this one. And so it wasn't terribly surprising. It's concerning insofar as I don't see it getting better. Fortunately for Buffalo, only the Ravens, I think, in the AFC play a similar style of offense, but this is defense that can definitely be had over the middle of the field, and you can run on them, and that's probably not going away anytime soon.
Carlton Davis with surgery, Aleem McNeil done for the year. Tough go for this team that I think we all want to say is the best squad in the NFC, but also the one that has little questions, and other teams seem to be getting momentum right now. Let's talk about the onside kick. Your thoughts? Is there a world where it was too aggressive? Down 10, 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It did not go well, Mina.
Yeah, and I dislike it in process, not just because it didn't go well, but the process being, onside kicks just don't work anymore, right? I believe the success rate is under 3%.
Really?
Probably lower.
Wow.
It's really, they just don't work anymore. So it was actually the same reason why, I quibbled with, who played for the onside kick? Was it McVay the other day? Or I'm trying to remember now, my brain is failing me. But it's just not a good strategy to ever. Oh, it was Sean McDermott, pardon me, when they lost to the Lions and he called the timeout, forcing the Bills to take the onside kick. That frustrated me immensely, really for the same reason, which is onside kicks. If you're playing for an onside kick, you've basically lost. And I love pretty much everything Dan Campbell does, and I love his aggression overall. I know, right? He's probably never been called Daniel Campbell in his life. But I did not love this decision because I just don't love onside kicks generally.
If I'm looking at just power rankings and all of that, Lions are still at the top from what I can see to start this Monday, even given all the injuries. Do you agree? Are they the best team? Because those Eagles look so good.
Yeah. Probably not because of all the injuries on defense. It feels awful to say because this Lions offense is such a wagon. Ben Johnson is brilliant. And Aaron Glenn, their defensive coordinator, has done such a good job as players have just been taken out like pieces on a Jenga tower. And for some reason, they've honestly continued to play at a decently high level. But it felt kind of like watching them that the tower came crumbling down. It's just too many injuries for them to overcome. So I would put the Eagles above them at this point.
I think I agree with that. And then there's the Packers of it all. I know you're a Seahawks gal. It happened last night. The Seahawks defense, all of it sort of fell apart a little bit, even when Geno was on the field. And I'm looking at the squad, and I'm thinking about your Twitter feed and Toyotathon and how it's all happening. Jordan Love looked impressive again. What do we make of the Packers after this one?
I just think the Packers' run game gets a little bit slept on in a division with the Lions, and we talk so much about the Ravens, and the Bills have a really dominant rushing attack. But I would put this Packers' run game up there with anyone. What they do in the backfield, it's so cleverly designed by Matt LaFleur with his use of motion and creative formations, and then Josh Jacobs just breaking tackles. This Seahawks run defense had been playing really well the last month, Kay, particularly against Arizona, San Francisco. But you saw in those first few drives, the Packers just have the ability to impose their will on teams on the ground. So you're not even asking that much of Jordan Love, even though he does bring you, I think, that high upside arm talent not every quarterback in the NFL has. So really impressive performance by them overall. Obviously, Seattle losing Geno Smith, it kind of felt like any chance of a comeback thwarted here. But I would put the Packers up with anyone because of that run game.
Third in the league, Josh Jacobs is behind Saquon and Derrick Henry, to your point. Jordan Love heating up, very few interceptions, very few mistakes as this run potentially continues. Matt LaFleur getting no love in Coach of the Year.
Kind of one of those things where if you've been so good for so long, you don't get it right. With Matt LaFleur, who I believe maybe outside of Jim Harbaugh probably has the highest winning record as an active coach. It's actually historically good at this point. But you're looking at him, you're like, well, they were good last year. Well, then maybe you should have given it to him last year. Well, it was good, But like when you step back and consider the job he's done transitioning this roster, incredibly young roster, and then, of course, shepherding in a new quarterback and dealing with the situation of Rodgers wanting out. I mean, it is really remarkable. And again, I think he's such a brilliant offensive play caller. I would put him up there with anyone in the league right now. So
he was able to
he should be talked about in that category. But it's always like the most improved coach, the most improved team.
Most improved. But then again, like Dan Campbell didn't get it last year.
Right.
So it's a little.
And now he won't because he was good before before.
I know. It's a little dicey. If we look at the playoff picture, if we can have the controller maybe pull up to wrap this up. Do you want AFC or NFC? What are you thinking? Mina, you take a pick.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Pick AFC or NFC to take a look at the playoff picture.
Oh, okay. Let's do AFC.
Let's do AFC. Okay, so we got the Broncos. I would love to hit on them. The Chargers with the loss. What stuck out to you about this playoff picture that sort of is the Mina Kimes tunnel vision on it?
It seems kind of locked in yesterday with the Broncos beating the Colts, right? That was sort of the biggest, highest impact game in terms of playoff positioning, and then obviously the Dolphins losing too. It seems very top-heavy. I think I would start there. Looking at the bottom upside, well, the Ravens, obviously, I would put up there with anyone. But I think that the Chiefs and the Bills now, this is what's so cool. There is really an opportunity for the Bills to claim that one seed, which means that every game through the end of the year will matter, and it's not just going to be a team like taking Week 18 off, most likely.
I want to get to the Steelers part of this because I've followed you. I know that you're like George Pickens. They got to create some big explosive plays. Is he just like is he the MVP?
Well, he's just so fundamental to what
crazy.
Yeah, to what Russ does, right? Which is it's a very deep ball dependent offense. It's very explosive. It's a little bit inconsistent. And when you take out a guy who catches literally everything thrown his way, suddenly that explosive element is gone, and you're just getting a lot of 3 and outs. And that's not to shade Russ. That's just the style of the offense. It's a bit boom or bust, especially when they're not running the ball well. But yeah, he's so underrated, and I think you're really seeing that right now in his absence.
Love that. Love you. I know you have such a full day, and you are so busy, so thank you for the time. And RG3, I know we're going to be spending a lot of time together, get together over the next couple of weeks. Anything last shout-out for Netflix Christmas, something you're looking forward to, a storyline?
I'm looking forward to Beyonce. I should probably talk about the NFL, but let's be real. We're all there for Beyonce.
Let's be real, Mina. Okay, appreciate you. Thank you so much for the time. And maybe enjoy Toyotathon and Simpsons and all the little things, and we will see each other on Christmas. Thanks, Mina.
See you then. Bye.